welcome to White as Sun. My name is Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're not subscribed, please click down below and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you know when I upload videos. I have two disclaimers that I want to make sure I throw out there right away. Number one, I am not a doctor. I do not work for the CDC. I do not work for the World Health Organization. Although I'm using those sites for today's video as my sources of information, just because I feel like they're more trustworthy than, you know, a news network. Number two, I am also not a doctor. I don't have a medical degree. I do have some common sense knowledge, I think. I did work for over 30 years in childcare, and one of my claim to fames was that I managed to keep pink eye from spreading through a 2-year-old classroom that was the size of a walk-in closet at my daycares. So, just putting that out there. I am a bit of a germaphobe. I do like to wash my hands. I do love Germ-X. I am a regular proponent of, you know, inoculating your children and keeping your children safe and staying home from work when you're sick or home from school. So, just wanted to throw those out there so that there's no misunderstanding as to where I'm coming from. So, thank you, babes. Oh, now you do that after we've already started. I'm just messing with you. I was messaged by a friend / subscriber. Her name is Michelle, and she brought up a very good question, and I will read the question. Hubs isn't officially in this video, although the question was addressed to both of us. And her question was, this is such a random, like, to me, it's how do I say this? It's trending, like it's very important right now, but it was just kind of out of the blue. Like, I didn't expect this question to come to me this morning. So anyway, she said, I know you and Richard have a lot of experience in survival and prepping for unseen emergencies. What are a few things that you would suggest we get and have on hand? And she's speaking about the coronavirus. She's nervous about the coronavirus. So, I never thought about doing this as a topic. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a news reporter. I don't work for the Centers for Disease Control or the World Health Organization, which from this point on I'll probably say CDC and WHO, but now you know who I'm talking about.
Doctor Who?
No, not Doctor Who.
She got her information from Doctor Who.
I'm going to start with a little information about the coronavirus. And just so you know, this information is on the Centers for Disease Control website. I will link these down below where I got my information, because please fact check me. I have no problems with somebody nicely. You don't have to be a jerk about it. We're all human. But I don't have a problem with somebody saying, hey, did you see this? Or, oh, this is an updated version. This was the most recent info I could find, and so that's what I went with. Now, the CDC put out an article in 2019 about the COVID-19, which is what they're calling the coronavirus. It's not necessarily a new disease, but it has mutated a little bit, and that's what we're dealing with now. It can spread. Oh, wait a minute. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. I'm sorry. It spread, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Feel prepared.
I didn't rehearse this. I read this once and then said, okay, let's do the video, which is my bad. So it's all the information the CDC, this says all the information they're using is based on what they know from the 2019 virus, which is actually when this all started anyway. So it's not like it's old information. And then they talk about how it spreads. So largely it spreads through person-to-person contact. That's how it mainly spreads. It mainly spreads when the person is sick, and it says between people who are in close contact with one another within 6 feet. So basically, keep a 6-foot radius around yourself.
Stay away from everybody.
Stay away from everybody. And through respiratory droplets. And what that means, I actually learned this in a oh, what are those classes called, hun? When you learn universal precautions class, when I was doing childcare, what they mean by respiratory droplets. Basically, is what it sounds like. Sneezes, a cough. People don't understand that when you cough, you're exhaling droplets of whatever is in your lungs and in your body. That's why it's so important to cover. Don't use your hands to cover. Cover yourself when you cough. Preferably a Kleenex, but, you know, sometimes you can't.
I use my shoulder.
And then it goes on to talk about, yeah, I do this a lot. And then it goes on to talk about when people are most contagious is when they're the sickest. So when your fever is the highest, when you're coughing the most, when you're feeling the worst, that's when you're the most contagious. This virus can live for up to 12 hours outside of the body on a surface. So going to a grocery store, wipe down the carts, you know, that kind of thing. And I'll get to all that in a minute, all of our stuff. So basically that's, you know, the gist of how it's being spread. They don't really tell you exactly what the virus is, other than it's similar to a cold and flu virus. Okay, that still is a broad range. The affected geographic areas for the most part, and this was updated on February 26th of 2020, are China, Iran, Italy, Japan, and South Korea. They are the most highly affected places right now, so don't travel there if you can help it. Now,
why would you want to go there? America's got everything you want.
I know.
Make America great again.
So, right now, in the United States, it says there have been 39 cases repatriated persons have brought from other settings. In other words, people have traveled and come back.
No. Hold on. Nope. What happened was there's only been 15 cases inside the U.S. What happened is Trump let in some Americans that were from...
I'll get to that because that's actually in another report that I'm going to read.
Okay.
I'm going what CDC is telling us. They're saying there has been 39 cases in the U.S. among repatriated persons from high-risk settings. That's what the CDC is saying.
Most of those came from that ship.
Yes.
Yes. There was a few from other countries that Trump brought in because they're Americans and he wanted them to be taken care of by Americans because...
Which is understandable because there's other stories. But anyway, so then, like we were saying, Trump addressed some issues, and there's been more than 81,300 cases reported worldwide of the coronavirus right now. That is astronomical to me. Just
most of them are in China.
So most of them, China, South Korea, Italy, Iran, and the U.S. Center, you know, and Italy and Iran. So that's what the CDC is saying.
Just don't travel there.
Trump has added to this a little bit and saying that there is actually one reported case of what they are calling a community a community case, meaning it was not brought in from another country. They don't know where this person came in contact with it, but it's in California, of course. Don't get me started on that.
Freaking Californians.
But it's the first non-travel related case of the coronavirus. And then Trump also, in this, it says 14 confirmed cases, with 12 from travelers returning from China, and 2 had contact with those travelers. So, and then California would be the 15th confirmed coronavirus, but he's a non-traveling infected person. So, I want to put a little more perspective on this because people are blowing this I shouldn't say people, press and media. They are the media is like the biggest
fake news
spreader of what's that called when everybody goes
hysteria?
Hysteria, thank you. God, I love that man who knows my brain. So, I'll get into that in a minute. So, you know, USA Today, and the Trump information I read from the USA Today post on their website, so I'll make sure to link that below as well. Like I said, everything that I'm reading off of my phone, I will have linked down below in the description so that you guys can read it yourselves. I'm not just pulling these numbers out of air. I am legit, you know, I have the information from these sites. So let's put this in a little bit of perspective. Remember I told you there was 81,000, what was it, 81,300? Whoa, my phone went nuts. Go back. Where'd that number go? Yes, 81,300 worldwide. So let's just talk about the flu. We're used to the flu, right? Every year we have a new flu strain. You got flu vaccinations, blah, 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 right? Flu kills 25,000 to 69,000 people per year. The corona has already killed 81,300. That's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. That is a little bit of a scary jump in number for one.
You're going to get to how you would stop that? This video is going to be like 12 hours long.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It might be a 2-part video. I don't know. If it is, it's fine. So I just wanted to kind of put that number out there as a perspective. And, you know, corona is serious. I'm not trying to downplay it in any way, but I also don't want people in the hysteria that the media is trying to put out there. Okay, so here's how my husband and I, if we were to go into a prepper mode for a coronavirus or a virus outbreak of some sort that's going to traumatically affect our lives. Right now, what are we doing to stay well and stay safe? General safe health practices are your best way to stay safe. Wash your hands. Wash down, if you are shopping somewhere, I wash down the carts, you guys. I didn't used to do that. Now, when the flu season started anyway, and us traveling so much, when you go to different regions, it's literally a little bit of a different virus everywhere you go.
Yes.
So our bodies, you know, we're used to Indiana virus, not North Carolina or Texas virus. So, you know, now I wash carts. Everywhere I go, I wash the carts.
Please, you do that here too.
I do,
yeah.
But I said everywhere I go. Everywhere means everywhere, guys. We use a lot of baby wipes. Out here in the cave, we don't have running water. Excuse me. I have, if hubby would go get my other favorite tool over there that I use a lot. Nope, it's on the counter, sweetie. Yeah. I do Germex a lot. You know, we do our best to, now I do, you know, we do go in the house, but as soon as I go in the house, the first thing I do is go in the bathroom and wash my hands. Why? Because we've been, you know, around. We've been outside. We've been using the restroom. We have a facility here that we do use, but there's no running water. So first thing I do when I go in the house is always wash my hands. When we leave someplace, you know, we leave Walmart, we leave the Dollar Tree, we leave wherever, a restaurant, I Germex again. Why? You've touched the table, you've touched the silverware, you've touched the door handle, you've touched the chairs.
No, I like to wipe down the tables and chairs and stuff.
We do. We have been known to wipe down tables and chairs in restaurants.
Even if they're clean.
Even if they appear clean.
Even if I just see the waitress or whatever cleaning it off,
well,
I still...
because, you know, they use those rags on 50 tables. They have a solution that they're supposed to use, but I'm sorry. No. Just no, okay? So that's like our first mainstay, our first step in being prepped or being prepared for a situation like this. Another item that we have abundance of at all given times is water. Now I'm going to let hubby throw the number out. I told Michelle 1 gallon per person per day, just for general drinking, right?
That's just for general.
That's just for general drinking.
That's just the drinking part. Then you got all the water you need for gray water.
Then you need extra water, which I kind of forgot to tell you, Michelle. Sorry. You know, in my defense, I was half asleep when you messaged me. But then you need extra water for washing dishes, cooking, washing your hands. So, you know, you'll add to that.
But we haven't the whole time we've been out and all that, we have not been using that
Well,
much water a lot.
But we've been in places that have had running water, so we haven't had to rely on this. Or we've had water bottles. We've had water available to us.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we make sure we have plenty
But
of water.
we make sure. So if you're preparing for, say, 7 days, the minimum you would need is 7 gallons per person.
Just drinking water.
Just drinking water. And then we have, living in the trailers and at that trailer court that we were at, because they had a habit of shutting off the water every whip stitch, we got pretty efficient at washing dishes with a gallon of water, and quite a few dishes.
I stored at least
Hubby always had
45 gallons of water.
Yeah.
And it was stored on a rotating basis.
Yes.
I had consistently 45 gallons of water
Yes.
in storage at all times.
And water does go stale.
Yes, it does.
And while we're on the water note and storage of water, milk jugs are not water storage devices, especially if you're using it for drinking or cooking.
Yeah, don't use those.
Milk jugs are not meant for that. That is actually a CDC recommendation that you do not use milk jugs.
But
now,
2-liter bottles work.
2-liter bottles, like, you know, if you buy pop and 2-liter bottles, those work. And that's actually our preferred bottle to store water in. We did that for, like he said, for years and years. We had minimum of 40, usually by up around 50 gallons of water stored. And like he said, you rotate that out because it kind of goes stale. It gets this funky look to it.
At least.
And we were on well water, which didn't help that any.
I would do it every 3 months if you could.
Yeah, we tried to cycle it out pretty regular.
But if you can't do it every 3 months, at least every 5 or 6 months,
yeah,
absolutely.
I wouldn't let it go longer than that by any means.
Because it does get stale and nasty.
And then along with that, now you want to talk about food. So food storage kind of depends on what you're eating like, what is your diet like. If you're a person that requires fresh produce all the time,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Non-perishables and foods that require only water for prep are how we generally live.
Yep.
We have a lot of, and I don't jump on me about how unhealthy all this stuff is, you guys. Even when we were living in the van and only living on this food, he lost 14 pounds and I lost 8 pounds. So it wasn't the worst way for us to live. The canned meat right there, hun, too. So anything that you can buy and get stocked up on. And you got to consider how many calories a day per person, honey?
1,200.
1,200 calories minimum per person per day. So one of the things that we like to go, we go to the Dollar Tree. We get a lot of our stuff at the Dollar Tree. Is this classic luncheon meat, and I actually like this better than Spam. Spam is way too salty. This is not as salty as the Spam is. That's why I like this better. And honestly, 1 can for him and I is more than a meal.
Oh yeah.
When you add it to some mashed potatoes or some beans, you know, something like that. Another thing that we do a lot of. Now this, I thought this is the one that had milk with it. Is it not?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This you're supposed to put milk with. We do have some powdered milk that we take with us, but you can also use non-dairy creamer, like the powdered creamer for coffee. The taste does change slightly. Add some pepper. It's fine. It's fine. And, you know, this is the kind of stuff that we use because this is the stuff, yeah, this is, that it doesn't go bad right away. You can store it forever and ever. We have some powdered eggs.
And
know,
milks.
And do what?
And milks.
Oh, I said milk.
Oh, okay.
Powdered milk. Ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are great for this kind of situation because they're, 1, really inexpensive, 2, really easy to cook, take very little water to cook, and you've got like how many varieties of ramen noodle out there? It's
and just add a little bit of beef jerky and you're good to go.
Oh, I don't like adding the beef jerky.
I love the beef
I don't
jerky.
like adding. They now have mashed potatoes. You just add water, literally These, I wish we still had the original packaging for this. These are, it's a soup mix. It comes in a great big bag. Hold on, baby, my hands are full. Here's what the flavor of the soup is. It doesn't tell you the brand of the soup. I'm not gonna, we divide it up so that it's smaller
Individual portions.
for us, because the whole thing, the whole big bag, all together makes like this huge pot of soup that there's no way he and I are going to be able to eat in one setting. So he wisely divided that up. We do pasta. Now I'm sorry, my nose started itching again. The bad thing about doing the pasta is
a lot of water.
Spaghetti sauce and a lot of water. The spaghetti sauce, once you open it, you have to use the whole can or jar, and they don't make them in. Can you bring me that can of sauce right there, hun? If they would make this can half-sized, I would be so happy. Because for us, a half of one of these cans is more than enough for what we would need, at that time. So, sorry, hubby's putting all the stuff back over there, which is going to be another video here in a little bit. And so, that's the kind of stuff we do for food. And it's easy to store. It's, easy to transport if you decide you need to go somewhere with it. So, having that stuff ready. Back to the viral side of it, where, you're worried about
stay away from people.
The virus. If it comes down to, like, you see the videos of people in China walking around with the masks on, you can get those masks at Dollar Tree, you can get them at Walmart.
Right now you can. But if it hits bad, you won't be able to.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If you let me finish my sentence, baby, please quit interrupting. Please.
Okay,
So.
Sorry about interrupting.
He worries about this being a 20-minute video. And
won't happen again.
Me. So, anyway, stock up on those now, because like Richard just mentioned, if it does hit the fan and it goes cray-cray here, you're not going to be able to find those. So get them now if you're really worried about, being able to protect yourself a little bit better. And I really, really, really think the best way to be prepared and be ready is I'm just doing the be prepared. Boom, 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 boom. If you know what movie, let me know. Wouldn't be a Michelle video without a movie reference and a song. So, one of the best ways to be prepared is to be prepared. Don't be blind. Don't just buy one case of water and think, oh, we're good for a week. No, you're not. One case of water will be gone in 2 days with 2 people, and that's not even a joke. So, and start getting the stuff now. Don't wait until, everybody's walking around with masks on and say, oh, I better go get a mask. Well, if you've already got your masks, then you're okay. Just one thing that I tend to do to help, because I do have anxiety, and I know that Michelle and I share this trait, is our anxiety issues. I don't watch news. I don't watch the news 24/7. I don't watch it every time I turn around. I'll go on Google and I will get the latest, little blurbs. I call them blurbs, just like this little pop-up information. But I don't sit and watch the news for hours on end, because it's depressing, it's anxiety-ridden, it's all propaganda half the time. None of them know how to tell the truth, or they stretch the truth so far that I don't even know where the grain of truth started, or I don't think they know where it started. And to me, it's not informationally sound. So why would I watch information that's just hullabaloo? It's not even worth it. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my stress. It's not worth the energy. So I think that is like how we are staying prepared. We're always kind of prepared. I don't think we're ever, right now I think water is my biggest thing, because we don't have the water like we used to in the trailer. Well, the amount of water.
We live in a more prepared state on a daily basis than most people do.
As far as being mobile.
Yeah.
And you and I do, yes. You and I are generally more prepared than most. So, I hope that was helpful, Michelle. I hope I didn't overwhelm anybody with information or lack of information. If you have any other questions, please post them down below. I 99.99% of the time answer all of my comments. That 1% is when I'm in a not good depression mode, or I'm really, really busy or sick. So, but generally I get back to an answer. Yes, my hubby has one more point.
That 1,200 calorie thing per day, that's for an average normal person that has normal everyday activity. If you're going to be
hiking 50 miles,
yeah, you got to up your
calories.
Yeah, that's just a basis for everyday normal stuff.
So, there you guys go. Please let me know, like I said, down below, if you have any other questions. I will link all of the 3 things that I used. I used the Centers for Disease Control, World Health Organization, and a USA Today article about Donald Trump's speech, because I knew there was some information in that I wanted as my sources, and they will be linked below for you guys to look at yourself and have, or just read if you need to. And I will see everybody later. Thank you so much for watching. I'm kind of pausing and stalling as hubby gets back to the camera. He was a little busy for a minute. I'll see you guys later. Bye.